Aren't you excited? She's so excited she can't speak. Rick, you're here with me. You excited?
I'm unbelievably excited. I just want to get in. Will you shut up?
And you're fully dosed on medication. Kate, you go have a look at the kiddie rides. Run, 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 run. Rick, we got the man stuff. It's the arcade machines for us.
Right,
let's go.
let's go.
Come on, Drew. Excuse me, sir. Thank you.
Hello, what's your name?
Andrea,
Andrea, what company do you work for?
for Zamperla in Italy.
And you make all of these rides for people to go on in the fairground?
Yes, and many more.
Can I have a go?
Yes,
Do you want me to go on the speedway?
Okay, I stop the ride for you.
I'm here with David Burgess from Williams Entertainment, and they make all this kit. Hi David, what do you do for Williams?
I'm in charge of running the operations and overseeing the manufacturing as well.
You've got some pretty unusual kind of gadgets and gizmos around here. What makes you come up with the ideas? Where do you get them from?
Basically, the gap in the marketplace. A lot of people have corporate events and functions and shows, and obviously this goes down well at corporate events.
Do you have to test out all the stuff, all the toys?
We normally get somebody else to test that for us.
Nightmare. Well, I'll tell you what, how about I volunteer for that job right now?
Please do. Go for it.
Oh, she's a gem, isn't she?
She certainly is.
What?
She's a fast chickie.
No, she's a gem, not a
Oh, right.
chickie.
A
Not a
ruby,
chickie.
perhaps.
There's no room for chickies in this darn show. We're at the arcade show. You don't see many chickies around here. You see toy elephants, but no chickies.
I've seen a few very large animals walking around.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you have. Anyway, moving on from your perverted dreams, we're going to the
That's the
reviews. We
coffee.
have a M1A2 Abraham's tank. It's got nothing to do with Moses' Abraham's. There's no Ten Commandments here. I'm pretty damn sure of that.
Has it got anything to do with tanks?
Well, apparently so, yeah.
You've got fish in it.
Well, no. Unfortunately not. They all drown, you see. They can't work the controls. They try their little flippers or whatever, but they can't work the
What
controls.
if they're big fish?
You never know. Perhaps sort of kill a whale or something. You could squeeze him into a tank, and very good, you know, sift the plankton out of his teeth and try and move forward. Hey, you never know. There's an idea for the Gulf War, isn't it?
And also
Train marine fish.
an idea for the surrealist television
Yeah,
show
okay,
on
moving on.
Planet
Star,
Earth.
Star Control, is it? Star Crusade?
No, Star General,
Star
which is
General.
not about General Schwarzkopf, who was indeed a Star General. It's more like a space strategy simulation thing with very dull graphics.
He was a Star General, wasn't he? Good old Schwarzkopf.
He was a Star General until his fall from grace.
Yeah, really? Where was she at the time then?
Oh, hi!
Hey! Top comedy, ladies and gentlemen. Do you like that one? He's sniggering along. Last but not least, our main game tonight is Phantasmagoria 2, which has got loads of blood, guts,
dear.
and is crawled out of a sewer somewhere.
Oh dear, very gory.
Scares him a bit, it really does. Keeps him up late at night. Little teddy bear. Oh, he doesn't like that game. Anyway, Rick, you better run off. You've got a report to do.
Oh yeah, where's Richard? Pity the poor tank. It's had pretty scant coverage in the simulation department of late. Alright, so it's kind of slow and unwieldy, but even the most lurching metal warhorse has feelings too. But there's someone out there who still cares for tanks, someone to take them home, feed them and sing them soothing songs until their gun turrets begin to sag with sleepiness. Interactive Magic are such Samaritans and have crafted a simulation in which your favourite weapon takes a starring role. In M1A2, you're given a simple choice. Either you fling yourself into the hellish heat of frontline action, or opt for strategic command, where you hide like the coward you are behind maps, flags, and most importantly, other people. Once in the tank itself, you can move from station to station, acting as driver, gunner, or commander, checking little dials and pulling handles, all the while forming your own personal methods of dealing with a selection of politically sensitive situations. Once you've solved all the world's problems, however, there's a network option where you can escape dull earthbound reality and ascend into the limelight of your very own war. Oh, sorry I'm late. I had to quickly change before I got here. I can't do these reviews in that get-up,
I'm not
obviously.
talking to you.
He's not talking to me because if you remember last week I did all the reviews on my own.
And then you went home with your posh college.
And I must actually completely and utterly admit that Sweet Rapper is entirely better than Richard. Anyway, we're not letting him go to the arcade show, that's my job this week. So this week, Richard's going to get a lot to say in these reviews. MIA-2 Abrams Tank is obviously a tank simulation, much in the style of a flight simulation, so therefore it must be boring. And yes, it is. It's not exactly a A1 kind of affair. The actual game itself, if you like driving tanks, is very, very accurate. It's very, very well done, and it's about the Abrams tank. But the actual whole gameplay is so tedious, I just couldn't be bothered, Richard.
No, absolutely right. I mean, there's a lot of potential here. Tank simulations, there have been a lot of these about, and there was a chance to get a really exciting, gripping simulation in, and they've totally squandered it. It's very realistic. There's a lot of different positions you can take. You can be a gunner, a driver, a map reader, a cleaner, anything. But none of the actual positions are particularly exciting. The missions aren't particularly good. The graphics aren't particularly good. It all rather looks like a PC game about 3 or 4 years ago rather than a top-notch simulation you get around today. So I'd have to say that it's a bit on the average side, sorry.
The kind of people that like these sort of games, they generally will buy it anyway, but the rest of us, I would have to say, no thank you. According to ancient lore, well, according to the manual actually, interplanetary war has moved through several distinct phases. From the early years of eager young Earthlings throwing bricks at alien visitors to the age of a shield, which is basically a fancy name for avoiding getting hit quite so often. This is where you come in. You are Star General, which is a fairly self-explanatory job description, and you hold the leashes of the latest model in Star Trooper. The game itself features 3 distinct modes of play. To throw yourself into the first campaign, choose between Fast War or Expansion War. Fast Wars obviously start pretty quickly, usually with a snappy insult along the lines of "Die filthy alien pig." Expansion Wars are far more complicated and involve elaborate poison letter campaigns, slanderous quotes in the local press, and a lot of ringing the doorbell and running away before the actual fighting starts. The skirmishes themselves are hell, blinding rushes of maps, icons and sharpened mouse pointers. Have you chosen the right attack craft? Have you built enough factories? Have you bribed enough diplomats? History will judge for itself.
Right, it's been a good number of years since we've seen a game of this sort. This is very much an old school style war game. Very strategy orientated, lots of little buttons to press, lots of very, very small ships with very little animation. So if you're an action fan, choose something else. This is not going to appeal. But there are a lot of comprehensive features. One of the nicest features I thought, that as well as you get the huge star maps with the squadrons of ships, you actually get to see a view of the planet. You can do a bit of command and conquer style tinkering around and shooting. It's very much a sort of game of choice. And if you like those sort of things, you're going to love this one because it's very comprehensive. But I'll say it again, if you're an action fan, you'd be far well advised to look somewhere else.
For the second time in a row, I will have to agree with Richard, because it is overly complicated for its own good. Now the strategy, again, much like the last game we reviewed, the strategy element of this game specifically appeals to certain people, the sort of people that do like little fiddly graphics and clicking on things, but that's all you get. I mean, do not think in any way whatsoever that this is fast-paced at all. I mean, this game is not exactly what you would want to play on, say, a Sunday afternoon. This is the sort of game that you would have to devote your entire life to, and for that I would have to just give it a bit of a
For train spotters only, I'm afraid.
Right, first things first. Could all those of a nervous disposition please put their hands over their eyes now? Fingers in ears too, I'm afraid. Are you gone? Good. Right, Phantasmagoria 2 is not a game for the normal, craven, weak-stomached individual you'd normally find perched in front of a console. It's been heralded as the scariest video game experience of all time, and not without good reason. You play Curtis, a quiet, unassuming sort of chap who's unfortunately got himself mixed up in all manner of diabolical goings-on. Only by going over the maze of game locations can you piece together the pesky gaps in your memory, avoid the advances of demented harpies and mysterious hitmen alike, and survive the experience of the game without being reduced to a dribbling mass of terror. Never has your mouse clicked so ominously. Never has the phosphorus glare of your monitor sent such spectral shadows dancing over the walls of your bedroom. Never has rummaging through your inventory seemed like such light relief after breathless minutes stumbling down dark corridors. If you're convinced that adventure games are for clueless anoraks only, think again. Cute fluffy bunnies, children playing in the park, Barbie dolls, playhouses, Wendy houses, et al, even stickle bricks, none of which feature in Phantasmagoria 2. Unfortunately, Phantasmagoria only features blood, gore and gratuitous horror, because the game itself is of course the sequel to Phantasmagoria, which sold absolutely bucket loads of entrails, if you like. It was not a great game to begin with, but it sold mainly on its reputation alone, and the reputation being the one that they wanted to ban. Now, Phantasmagoria 2 goes down the same line, but they've really updated the gameplay stakes, because it's very cinematic. Instead of a little character wandering around a la Leisure Suit Larry style, you have a sort of bloke standing in the middle of the screen, and you get to revolve him round and look at things on desks, etc. But essentially, that only leads to other FMV sequences. So you have to sort of stick at it. It's slightly more playable than, say, your seventh guest, but not quite as playable as, say, a football.
Well, I knew the southern piece couldn't last, and I found myself totally disagreeing with Rick because I hated it. I'm sorry, it was boring. I mean, I didn't play the first one extensively, and I didn't really want to play this one particularly much either. I mean, there basically isn't very much to do. I mean, you get little FMV sequences showing your movements, but before you can leave a room, you have to complete certain things in order, and to actually get to the horror, you have to play through reams and reams and reams of very tedious day-to-day tasks. You have to find your wallet, brush your teeth, pick up your keys, before you can find yourself wandering into rooms full of zombies. So if it's like fast-paced excitement you want, you're not going to find it here. I mean, I don't really like games like this. I don't like games where every little slight movement you make is accompanied by an incredibly long, detailed FMV sequence. I think they're a waste of time. People want constant movement, constant excitement, and a constant list of things to do. I mean, strategy games are all very well, but this isn't even one of them either. It's just completing things in a certain order, and that's it. So, I'm sorry, I hated it. Thumbs down from me.
I'm sorry, I'd have to disagree, obviously. Mainly because I actually really like Phantasmagoria 2 because it has a good plot line. I mean, most of the games we see nowadays are really lacking in plot. This isn't. It's also got very, very wild and varied FMV sequences, and the game itself is complicated enough and puzzle-led enough to actually keep you on coming back for more and more and more. So I'd have to give it a thumbs up. And Richard, next time, can we choose a bit of a warmer meeting place? Yeah, right. I'm back to the show.
Big purple bags under the eyes. Very attractive.
So while we're waiting for Rick, a quick joke. Oh no, he's back.
I'm back.
That was quick, wasn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is.
Did you enjoy your little jaunt down there?
I certainly did, but Richard is a pillock.
Is he really?
Yeah, he
And
doesn't
that's
know.
your professional opinion, is it?
He
As
never
producer
agrees
of the
with
show?
me, and I know everything,
Oh,
Gary,
yes,
as you
do.
well know.
You're the grand poobah of information.
I know,
believe.
Gabriel, yes.
Yes, you do. You know, what colour underpants is Drew wearing today?
I know that Drew is wearing a very nice brown and paisley.
Paisley?
A paisley pants.
You're not supposed to be wearing those till the weekend, Drew. You know that. We've told you about it. Okay, it's time for our competition. It's Barry's on the bag. I believe this is the last competition we're doing for a while.
It's the
Give me
last
a goodie.
competition for absolutely ages, because next week, of course, is Internet Week, isn't it?
Internet Week, special Internet Week. Yeah,
I've
what
watched
have we
that for
got
you.
inside the bag?
Right, what we got inside of the bag
Big
is
bulky
loads
bag.
of CD-ROMs, everything basically that we've got left
Right.
that you
Just
can
chuck it
have.
out, yeah.
And we've got a can of tuna, and it's
Really?
dolphin-free, which means you get some free dolphins in it.
Do you
probably.
really? Have they what, exported flipper?
They make it slightly more salty.
You might say you get a porpoise for pittance. Hey, there you go, porpoise for pittance. There you go.
The Prince and the Porpoise.
No, no princes, just porpoises, just
All right.
flipper. just poor little flipper. We'll send him through the post. You
The
know?
artist and
Right.
the porpoise.
Shall we move on to the question, Rick?
I think we better.
Okay, as you know, each day we give you a clue to guess which video game character we're talking about by the end of the week. And today's first clue is...
This once was a girls' magazine.
Once was a girls' magazine. Drew, you know what it is, don't you? Yes, absolutely. He gets them all, you know. He spends all of his cameraman money on them at the end of the week. He's down that news agent. Says it's for his sister, of course. Wink, wink, that's nice, we know what's going on. Anyway, it's now time for the break, but join us back after there for more ATEI fantastic action.
I need a cappuccino.
A preview.
And we're back from the break, and boy, are we excited, because we're at the ATEI, and you guys ain't. Ain't that true, Rick?
It certainly is. It's absolutely fantastic here. This Tekken 3, would you believe it? I haven't even finished Tekken 2.
Oh, suit you, sir. Suit you, Drew. Okay, a bit of a problem, in fact, this week. Drew has been giving Bob Mills some of his special candy, and Bob Mills is now lying on a hospital floor somewhere, clinging on to dear life.
Holding his throat.
Holding his throat with some sort of gummy bear or chewy sweet, you know, stuck out. So we can't bring you the Eliminator today, but we don't care, because we're going to do a bit of a walkabout, bit of a roam around the ATEI.
Yeah, we certainly are. We're going to go and interview a few people about the latest machines.
Hey, Rick, we could use the stairs, or we could use my new magic spell that was given to me by Mistress Mika from Rent-A-Go. Should we do that?
Let's try it.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
It might just work. Do you remember Battlezone, that old Atari arcade machine where you had wireframe graphics, but it was essentially about tanks? You drove around with 2 joysticks and blasted the hell out of everything around. Well, this is Tanks 2, but this time it's been updated immensely. You get a steering wheel, 2 buttons on the top with which you fire, and 2 pedals on the ground with which you reverse and go forward. It's as simple as that. You either choose a white tank or a green tank. You get put in a team and you blow the bejesus out of each other. That's it. Tokyo Wars in a nutshell. One other feature is that you get a huge reverberating speaker behind your head, giving you all-round tank experience. When you fire off those shells, your head explodes. Whoopee! Thanks, Namco.
Bullseye! Enemy truck! Pull out! Pull out! Hit! Here it is, folks, yet another stonker from the people we call Namco. It's your chance to be Godzilla, because this one's called Tokyo Wars. That's right, you're in a wasn't great tank and you've got to annihilate the other team. Simple as that. Martin, what do you reckon?
Brilliant. What can I say? What you've got Combat, you've got Battlezone, 2 classic 80s games, slung into a nice 3D isometric tank game.
Do Do you reckon you've got a nice feeling of power there?
Oh, certainly. The whole machine shakes when you're firing off your big guns.
So that makes it nice and realistic.
Oh, it certainly does. Yeah.
What do you reckon about lastability? Do you reckon this one would survive at home?
Not at home. It's definitely a multiplayer. Definitely a multiplayer game.
So it's one to get together with your mates.
Oh, certainly. Yeah. 4 players linked up together is excellent.
And is this in arcade now?
It's coming out soon. Hopefully, should be very, very soon.
Right, and it's the multiplayer version we want to look out for.
It's the one you want to play. It's a bit boring on your own because you're not trying to kill anyone else. But as with 4 mates together, it's excellent. One of the better games of the show.
Well, there you go, you heard it from Martin. If you've got any friends, get in this, get in a tank and start shooting. Researcher, stuntman extraordinaire, he actually doubled for James Bond in GoldenEye. And there we are, and Sylvester Stallone as well. He's done a lot of his
Marlon Brando in The Godfather.
That's right, Marlon Brando, or perhaps more Marlon Brando as he looks
Phil
now.
Mitchell in EastEnders.
Okay, Phil. Okay, Phil.
Come on,
Do
Phil.
this for Cathy. Okay, this will get rid of your hangover. Let's go. Woohoo! Ah, you're not going to get me on that. I remember the G-Lock 360. Never again.
Hey, look at this. This is Sega's new driving game, and it's Model 3 engine based. That basically means that the graphics move faster and smoother than ever before. Sega Rally? Pah! Daytona? Forget it. This is Scud Racer. Or at least that was the name that was on the top of the cabinet. But even Sega themselves have admitted that that is A, both pants, and B, bobbins. So can you think of a name for Sega? If so, write to Mr. Sega, Sonicsville.
Well, looking at what the bobbins from Sega have come up with now, this is their latest Model 3 racer. It's none other than Scud Racer. It looks gorgeous, and I'm not just talking about our friend Martin. Martin, you've been playing Scud Racer. What's it like?
It's hard. It's really hard. Graphics are lovely though, but it plays like a pig.
It's quite difficult to get to grips with, is it?
Yeah. Other games like Daytona are really easy to get into, but this is so hard.
Do you reckon this is the kind of game that'll get easier the more you play it?
I think so, yeah. Practice makes perfect after all, but it's really nicely done. They've really made a nice job of it. And I'm crashed, I'm dead, I'm out.
Right, do you think it looks nicer than something like Daytona or Ridge Racer?
Oh, certainly, yeah. The graphics are a lot sharper, very much like what they did with Virtua Fighter 3. But it's just too damn hard.
It's just too damn hard.
Too damn hard.
That's his professional opinion, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's great. Oh, that does murder for your nasal cavity, that does, doesn't it?
I don't know what happened to me. I went all over the place.
Well, you got lost.
Yeah, my nose isn't quite... I need to do that.